Hello everyone and welcome back to Gent Watches. Today I'm going to be doing a very special type of video, and this one was by request. The request of quite a few people. So if you haven't seen it, I did some reactions to One Piece opening videos. I did it over 2 different weeks, and I did all 24 openings. And it was a great experience. I really liked watching those openings, even though I don't generally watch openings of shows that I'm not watching. I know that One Piece is like such a long and important show in anime history, and that's the sort of thing that people generally want to see. So I thought I would give my reaction to that, and it was a lot of fun. I got a lot of cool comments on those videos. A lot of very nice people telling me about how One Piece works and the things that they like about it and the OPs that they like, and I really like reading that. There's also a lot of people correcting me on little things that I did, and I made little mistakes here and there about like stuff that I that I couldn't know, but also stuff that I should have known from watching the OPs and I didn't realize. And then a few comments that weren't great, but that's the internet for you. And one big thing was a lot of people were telling me about this video called The Breathtaking World of One Piece. Now apparently, as I was told by those comments, this video will not spoil the series for me, and instead would be a good introduction to the sort of thing One Piece does. I don't exactly know what it is, but by the title it sounds like it's talking about maybe the world building of One Piece and why it's so special, what makes it important, which is something that is very interesting to me and might do even more, because you can see in the OP video how I was leaning more towards maybe this would be a good show to watch. And I think the purpose of me watching this is hopefully it'll lean me more towards that direction. So I also want to address the fact, before I get into this video, I want to address an important thing that people have been asking for, and that is some people are asking for One Piece reactions on the channel. And I'm not closing off the idea of that. Here's the thing. Here's the things that would probably need to happen. I would probably need to know that there was some that there were many people who were waiting for that, who were hoping for One Piece reaction. So if you genuinely do, and I'm not just trying to ramp up engagement on my video, but rather I'm trying to figure out if it's a worthy thing for me to put my time into. So if you do think that One Piece reactions, and you genuinely would watch One Piece reactions on this channel, like you would actually click on the videos and watch the videos, then please let me know in the comments below and like the video and such, because then I will actually know that there would be engagement on those videos. Because the thing is, obviously for a channel like this, I kind of can't be putting time into things that aren't going to be worth it. There aren't many people watching it. If there's only 10 people who are interested in the series, it's probably not worth putting all the time into the series. And so some shows I would just try them out and see if they work. But with One Piece, there's 1,000 episodes of it. So if I'm going to put my time into this, I would be putting a significant amount of time. And I probably wouldn't want to stop it until the end of an arc or something. But with One Piece, I mean, arcs might be really long, and so I wouldn't know where to stop the videos. So I think beforehand I would want to know if people were into it properly, and then if I did start it, there would be the knowledge of if it started to, on the channel, people weren't interested in it anymore, then I would just put it on pause or stop it until such time as people want me to do it again. But it's not something that I'm throwing off the table. I actually am very interested in the series, and if people do want to see it on the channel, then maybe I'd start it sooner rather than later. Just let me know in the comments. Anyway, The Breathtaking World of One Piece. We're just gonna watch this video. I mean, maybe it'll be a little less edited, this video, since this probably won't be picked up as much from copyright, hopefully. So if this video is less edited, hopefully that'll give some of you guys what you want, which is the choppy editing isn't for everyone, but I gotta do it a lot of the time to avoid copyright. So let's just try this video out. By the way, this video is done by Strawhat V. I will try to put this video in the description below, because please support the person who did this video as well, more than me even, because they put a lot of work into this video, and I'm just watching it on your request. So let's get into The Breathtaking World of One Piece. Okay, I don't know what to expect. Hang on, I need to put it in 1080p. I don't know why it's in 360p. Okay. This is kind of cool. Are these just establishing shots that the show has had over time that he's compiling into an introduction?
24年前、世界はちょうど海賊王ゴールド・ロジャーの処刑に沸き、
Gold Roger.
彼の残した莫大な富。
Right, yeah, so the show is about everyone looking for one grand treasure.
海賊時代の幕開けである。
I'm sure that's only the original conceit, and it becomes much more than that. Whoa! Is that Santa Claus?
ピースを狙う全ての海賊たちが目指す。人呼んで
Whoa, pretty cool city designs and world designs. Food Vulcan? 6-6? Whoa, that's a cool city design. This is something I haven't actually seen. I haven't seen like city designs in One Piece. This actually looks pretty unique. I've mostly seen them on the ship whenever I see One Piece stuff, you know?
しかし
However,
その海を制したのは海賊王ゴールド・ロジャーただ一人。
Sabaudi Park? Is that what that said? Flower Hill? Wow, there's so many places. I guess there's 1,000 episodes, so they have time to explore a lot of places. Whoa! Big flower islands? Over 100 ships. I've seen that food island thing in the OPs. That's in the later seasons, I think, right? In the 20s? Oh my gosh. So this was just a fan just compiled all these... Oh my gosh. So is this just a 7-minute video just showing off all the different cool locations of One Piece? Oh my god. Even with 1,000 episodes, this seems like a lot. A plethora of species. Whoa! Okay, so we're off locations now and we're on to animals? So we'd have to come up with a bunch of animal designs as well. I mean, those look like mostly birds, like just regular seagulls, almost. This feels like the Lion King. A vast array of natural phenomena. Do I have to keep turning my head? Whoa! What the heck? This is a very well edited video. Like, this feels official. Other than the varying qualities of the thing, but even that's natural for such a long show. Beyond the clouds. Oh my gosh, we're getting into sky cities now. It's like a beanstalk there. A lot of beanstalks, actually. Oh my gosh! Beyond the depths. Oh my god. I mean, it feels like at some point they would go into space, doesn't it? Like, if you're doing underwater and in the skies, you might as well keep going up. Wow. That's very nice. That's very nice. Whoa! Big turtle. Ooh. They're going to space! There they go! I don't think they're actually going to space. Very cool. Was that supposed to be like an elevator? Kinda, yeah. So it's a flying machine, but can only go up and down. This is very... I mean... I don't know how you would design stuff like this. Does he actually... 170 allied nations? Does he actually have some sort of architecture degree? Like something to help him with this? Has he studied it? Wow, it's ramping up. There was an island on the back of an elephant in there, I think, which is different than an island on the back of a turtle. Whoa, the One Piece awaits. Wow, I mean, that was very impressive. That wasn't what I thought it was gonna be. That was like, it was just straight up like basically establishing shots, which is the interesting thing is I find establishing stuff to be kind of, you know, it's not my jam generally. I am so I'm someone who went to university to get a double degree in media and arts, and so I have two degrees, and you know, one's in media and one's in arts, but my specialty was creative writing. So essentially I was going to uni to practice my story writing, my script writing, you know, figuring out the structure of a story, stuff like that. So I did a lot of that in uni. So that's why when I'm, you know, watching, I like to watch a lot of shows because I like to figure out what I like about shows. What I found over time is the thing I don't like about shows is setting, like anything that's setting description. A big reason I don't actually read a lot of novels, other than just like not having really, like not being able to focus properly on it, is because a lot of the time when a book is setting the scene for something, that's a very important part of the book, but my brain, I just can't take it in at all, right? But when it comes to character stuff, that's when I'm really focused in, because I really, really love character stuff. So you'd think this video would not be for me, it wouldn't be very interesting. But I think the thing about this setting was it's so varied, there was so much different stuff that like, and it was like fast paced. If it was like slow establishing shots, like I'm talking like the start of Zack Snyder's Justice League slow, you know, because I mean, look, I really don't like Zack Snyder's Justice League, and one of the big things I really didn't like about it is how long the establishing shots were. I swear the first like half hour of that movie is just establishing shots. And so yeah, I really didn't like that because my eyes just gloss over. But it seemed like with this there was there was a lot of like stuff going on very quickly, so it would establish for a couple seconds and then establish the next place and establish the next place, and so like I was getting a feast for my eyes constantly, like all this new stuff. So even if there was a place where I was like, yeah, I mean, this looks cool, but it looks kind of historical and boring, I don't really care about it, immediately there would be a new place, so it wouldn't matter. So yeah, I can see, I mean, that impresses me a lot, that is the product of a dude who, I mean, the anime is made by obviously many people, but the manga specifically is made by Oda, and so like I imagine most of the creativity here is attributed to him, because of course there's a lot of artists who worked on the anime that also deserve some of that praise, and you know, any of the sound design and all that sort of stuff would go to a lot of other people as well. So we can't attribute it 100% to Oda, but he is also, I mean, he's the person who came up with this world, and there seems like there's so much stuff there, like a lot of stuff. So that's incredibly impressive. I am interested. I'm very interested in the way that this show comes about. I think it's so interesting. Like the stuff about world building is a big thing that I've heard a lot about. People talking about world building is really just starting small and slowly growing it out as you go. Obviously, if you're, you know, huge brained, you could sit down and do the entire of the world building all in one thing and then start to fit things into it. But it's also very possible for you just to start off with just like a very small localized thing and slowly branch it out. That's a big thing with D&D. A lot of the time when professional DMs are giving advice, that's the advice they give. Like for example with Matthew Mercer, who does Critical Role. You know, he has the world of I was gonna say Tal'Dorei, but that's not it. Exandria. And Exandria is this quite in-depth place with a lot of different areas in it, and there's this really rich lore with like the Calamity, which is a major event that happens that, you know, did all the stuff with the gods and stuff, and then there's, you know, the present day, and the present day is like, you know, standard D&D stuff, maybe a little more modern than D&D stuff, but it's still sort of post-apocalyptic as compared to the world pre-Calamity, so there's a lot of world building that went in there and stuff. But that game started as like a table game with his friends, and they, you know, I think he just like started doing a one-shot in a city, and he just named the city, like, you know, and they did that, and then slowly he built it out more and more, and now there's books about it, and there's this huge incredible world, and he's exploring all this stuff, and it's pretty impressive. I think it's really, really cool. So that's the sort of thing that I think you would do for something like this. But at the same time, that doesn't mean it's easy, because whenever you're expanding it out, you have to take into account all the stuff that you've done so far. So the further you're expanding it out, the harder that would get. Because it's like, okay, well, you've built all this stuff now. Any further you expand it out, you can now no longer contradict all of this stuff. Like at the start, you know, if you just make a single town and then you make another town next to it, it's like, well, you know, these towns aren't going to interact with each other very much. But the further you expand it out, you have to start thinking about how different things interact with one another. If these people have invented flying, and these people's problem would be solved by flying, why are they not giving the thing there? Well, you have to establish a reason for that, you know? There's got to be some sort of reason that wouldn't interact. So there's a lot of stuff to consider, and I think it's really impressive. So yeah, that was Breathtaking. Great job, Strawhat V, for that, or Strawhat, which I initially misread it as. Very cool. So yeah, that was my One Piece Breathtaking World of One Piece reaction. If you enjoyed it, let me know in the comments. And again, if there's any sort of demand for One Piece reactions, I would need to know that below, so that I can know if that is something worth putting my time into, or if I should just do some other stuff and come back to One Piece reactions. I feel like sometime in my life, if I continue doing this channel and it continues to be worth it for my life, and I continue to have the time to do it, I feel like at some point I would get around to One Piece reactions, but I guess it just depends if it's sooner rather than later. So anyway, thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, thank you very much, and I hope you stick around on the channel. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. All that stuff really helps me know what sort of stuff you guys like, so it helps me improve the channel. But thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.